That's what appears in the Browser tab, Countdown Timer. Next, we link our CSS file time.css. This will style our timer with colors, fonts, and layout. Now, the body. This contains everything visible on the page. We have a div with class timer container. This is our main wrapper that will hold all timer elements. Inside, an H1 heading with ID timer. This displays our countdown numbers starting at 0. The ID allows JavaScript to update this text dynamically. Then, 3 buttons. The Start button with ID Start button begins the countdown. The Stop button with ID Stop button is initially disabled. This prevents users from stopping a timer that hasn't started. The Reset button with ID Reset button will restart the timer. Finally, an input field. Let's walk through this CSS styling for our countdown timer, selector by selector. First, the timer container class. This styles our main wrapper div. It centers all child elements using text-align center and adds 50 pixels of top margin to push the timer down from the top of the page for better visual balance. Now, the timer ID selector. This styles our main countdown display. We use a large 48-pixel font size to make the numbers easily readable. The bold font weight adds emphasis and clarity. The 20-pixel bottom margin creates breathing room between the timer and the buttons below. Next, the button element selector. This styles all 3 control buttons. We add 10 pixels of margin around each button for spacing, and 10 pixels top-bottom, 20 pixels left-right padding for a comfortable, clickable area. We remove default borders and apply 5-pixel rounded corners for a modern look. The background color is a pleasant green. Number 4, CAF50, with white text for contrast. The cursor changes to a pointer on hover to indicate interactivity. The button hover pseudo class. This adds interactivity feedback. When users hover over buttons, the background darkens to a deeper green. Number 3, E8E41, providing visual confirmation that the element is clickable. Finally, the time input ID selector.
Let me explain this countdown timer JavaScript code. First, we declare our variables. We have countdown time initialized to 0. This will store our remaining seconds. Interval ID is set to null and will hold our timer interval reference. Then we get all our HTML elements using getElementById, the timer display, the 3 control buttons, and the input field for setting custom time. We set up event listeners so each button triggers its corresponding function when clicked. The start countdown function begins the timer. First, it checks if the input field has a value. If it does, it sets countdown time to that number. Then, it creates a set interval that runs every 10 milliseconds, or 1 second. Inside the interval function, we decrement countdown time by 1, then call update timer to refresh the display. We check if time has run out by seeing if countdown time is less than 0. When it is, we clear the interval, display time's up on the timer, and re-enable the start button while disabling the stop button. The function also immediately disables the start button and enables the stop button when the countdown begins, preventing multiple starts. The stop countdown function simply clears the interval, pausing the timer, and toggles the button states back, enabling start and disabling stop. The reset countdown function clears any running interval, resets countdown time to 0, updates the display to show 00, and resets the button states. Finally, the update timer function does the time formatting. It converts total seconds into minutes and seconds using division and modulus. It pads both values with leading zeros using pad start to ensure a consistent 2-digit display format, then updates the timer element. The complete flow. A user enters time in seconds, clicks start to begin counting down each second, can pause with stop or reset to 0 at any time. The display updates every second showing minutes and seconds until time runs out and shows time's up.